Mindfulness for Resilience with Mary-Jo Fetterly, funded by the Craig H. Nielsen Foundation and brought to you by SCI&U for Healthy Living.
So welcome and hello, everybody. And as people filter in, I'll just babble as I do about certain things that I think are maybe relevant for today's practice. And the wind is blowing now, and the wind has been blowing actually quite a bit in Vancouver the last few days, and it makes me think about change. And wind is often, to me, very representative of things moving and letting go and that kind of thing. And I think a lot of us have had to let go of a lot of different things through this period of COVID and the pandemic. So letting go is not always easy, but it's certainly a really important thing to do. And there's a piece of our breath, excuse me, that I think is quite symbiotic to letting go, which is the exhale. And the exhale allows us to let go of a lot. And gravity and the exhale combined kind of create this beautiful, if you will, kind of movement in the body, which is downward for the most, for the most respects. And that downward movement is a grounding, actually. It kind of solidifies us, and in combination with gravity offers us this also very real sense that we are grounded and that we're not kind of out there blowing around like the wind at every whim of different things that come to us throughout our day. So as we go through our practice today, we're as I said last week, we're going to be moving for the next few sessions into more conscious awareness around what happens when we breathe, our breathing. So again, just breathe and get back on track. And it's kind of as easy as that, really allowing that breath to ground you. And if something throws you off course, if we get distracted, if we lose our focus when we're working, the breath is as easy as the moment, really, to bring us back, to bring our radar back into a place of being grounded, being centered. And so I'd like you to just think about that as we go through today, and welcome as you're coming in. We just are really starting, and I'm kind of just babbling a little bit here. So I've talked about breath being a universal thing where we all breathe and we all have this commonality, really, that unites all of us is our breath, which is quite an amazing thing too. So focusing on this universal of all mindfulness practices, which is the focus of the breath, it really gives us this a capacity to, in an instant, really change gears, to take that capacity of the exhale to relax, to ground us, to center us and to steady us, and to bring us back into the moment. I mentioned a couple weeks ago when we were doing a breath sequence that you don't really need to be in any special situation to do breath awareness or to do mindfulness. Sort of like meditation, it's a bit different. We're not sitting in a, we could be doing mindfulness. Breath is what brings us back into the moment. So I encourage you to think about the breath as being this beautiful kind of thread that allows us to come back into steadiness, to using that exhale to ground, using that place to really exercise our freedom of choice, so that we don't get caught up in the email that is going on, or the argument, or whatever it might be. Just say, no, I need a pause, and taking that breath. So knowing that you can always pause and in that moment take a breath, you just want to make it conscious. So you want to allow that breath to be conscious, and you want to think about just evening out the raggedness of it. So if the breath isn't smooth, often our nervous system isn't either. And usually the mind is kind of all fragmented as well. So just thinking about creating that sort of smooth rhythmic breath will really help you to slow down, first of all. And it will ease out that sort of raggedness of frustration. It will slow down your heartbeat, and it will allow you to make a better choice in that moment about how to respond. So I think we'll just from there begin. So allow yourself to think about taking a dignified seat that's relaxed and comfortable. And I like to encourage all of us to just take a big sigh. And go ahead and do that again. Take another big sigh. That's good. And if you haven't already, just close your eyes. And as we enter into the practice today, remember to bring the attitude of friendliness and kindness and curiosity. And as we begin with our awareness of breathing practice, becoming mindful of our breath, establish, first of all, a simple sense of presence. Let your body settle and let your mind be at ease as best you can. Perhaps you could feel your whole being with that half smile, that attitude of kind curiosity. Good. And now take 2 full breaths and relax your body as your breath releases. Good. And now, again, take 3 full breaths with just letting your body really resume its conscious rhythm, but allowing perhaps the awareness of the 3 breaths to just notice. Is it smooth? Can I allow myself to slow down into my exhale? Can I allow my body, my mind, and my breath to be one? Good. Good. 3 breaths. That's awesome. And at the end of your 3rd exhale, allow your body and your breath to return to the natural breathing rhythm. And now I'd like you to just notice where you can most easily feel your breath. And what does that feel like? Notice the sensations of your own breathing. Perhaps you notice the expansion and the contraction of the inhale, expanding you, opening your heart, and the exhale, deepening you. Gravity relaxing the body into the support. Perhaps you notice the tingling of the breath as it moves past the nostrils or past the back of the throat. Perhaps you notice the rise and fall of your belly. And if you don't notice anything, that's a good place to place your hand. So you could feel perhaps the movement inward and outward at your navel with your hand. And wherever you feel most easily the natural rhythm of your breath, then allow that to be where you take your kind attention. Just being the rise and the fall of the breath, just like the beautiful rise and fall of the ocean waves. Just kind of movement inward and outward. And as you're aware of the breath, feel in your next 3 breaths, as you breathe outward, the steadiness of the mind and the calmness of the body. And perhaps you can relax a bit deeper on your exhales. You may notice that your body has weight and that your body breathes and that your body's steady. And as if your mind wanders, you just bring yourself back with your breath in a kind, gentle, grandfatherly or grandparently way, just guiding yourself back to the movement of your breath. And then this breath. And then this breath. And feeling that sort of rhythmic, beautiful movement of your breath, similar to that tide, that beautiful in and out of the waves of the ocean. Knowing the retraction of that wave back into the source, that exhale can release whatever you don't need, be it thoughts, be it tension. Just allowing your exhale to really empty you, even of thought, so that you're just really your awareness and your breath. Perhaps again feeling where you notice your breath and the sensation of breathing in your body. Perhaps relaxing the inside of your mouth and the back of your throat will allow the breath to move more smoothly. And remembering that you can bring this kind, gentle awareness to just one breath at any time throughout your day. So as you come back and join into our circle of mindfulness awareness, I'd like to thank you for your time and also your efforts and your willingness. And I really encourage you to keep it up. As I've mentioned, this is like learning a new language or instrument or sport, and you'll feel awkward at the beginning. And be patient with yourself. We're training that little puppy, and have this breath basic sort of be something that you could utilize whenever you need it. reminding yourself that that's, you know, as simple as just kind of pausing and becoming conscious of your breath, and how that may help you to come back into the moment, to have more focus and clarity, and how better to respond to what you might need to in that moment. So as always, I'd like to thank the Craig Nielsen Foundation. Craig Nielsen has been amazing in supporting this, and I also would like to thank the SCI&U group, who are behind the mindfulness practice. And as we build resiliency and more skill at this, I'm so encouraged that we get comments and we get feedback from you. It really helps us and guides us in kind of knowing how better to serve you and what works and maybe what we could do better. So we always welcome that, and also your questions. So if there are any questions or comments today, please feel free to open up the floor and unmute yourself, and be happy to answer them. Yes, and of course the SCI&U website will inform you about the coaching program that we are doing, which started this all. And it's a fabulous program, and we're accepting new applicants right now. So if you're interested in having a personal coach, health coach, it's a great opportunity. It's a fabulous program. So I encourage anybody that's interested to look into that as well.
Okay. Perfect. Can I ask you a question too?
Yeah.
Will we eventually be doing longer sit-ins? Do you think, is that part of the progression?
Yeah, it is. And so right now we're around 8 minutes for our mindfulness, and 8 to 9. So we're building up. We're going up toward 12. And that, thank you for reminding me about that, because that would be a good reminder for me. So next week we'll be going, we'll be at almost 10 minutes. So we'll be going up a couple minutes now.
Cool.
It's a good sign if you want it longer. I mean, is that your request? Just...
Yeah, it feels fast to me.
Okay, good. Well, that's great. And I also was going to say, you know, we're practicing. So like, you know, at getting better at this. And as you do, you build up more tolerance. So that's what we've been doing. And it's good to know that we're getting more tolerance and more capacity. So yeah, we're gonna make it dive a little bit deeper into it then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day too. Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
So we'll see you next week, and we'll be doing more breathing and more mindfulness, of course, and a little bit longer. So have a great week. Stay safe, everybody. And be kind to yourself and to all those around you.